16 to self-belief. And as we go through this journey itself, tonight's journey is really about our self-belief, but not the kind that comes from being told who you are, but the kind that rises naturally from within. And along the way in life that we go, we're given beliefs by our family, by culture, and by teachers, and even spiritual traditions itself, right? And some support us, and some slowly replace our inner voice. And over time, we begin to rely upon others to say what's true for us, or have somebody think for us. And rather than finding our own truth from within ourselves, we do this not only when it comes to information, but we do this when it comes to our own health. And not to say that we shouldn't be relying upon conventional medication or medicine itself. There's a place for everything. But when we lose our own belief system in the healing process itself, that's another form of surrendering our power away and giving up our true identity, our true self. So we need teachers in life, right, who teach us to fish for ourselves, right? Not to become reliant upon somebody else's catch or information. And there are so many people out there with a certain rhetoric sharing their way of doing things. And not everybody has that personal experience. And not even the people that sometimes share their rhetoric also have experienced what they're speaking about. In the process of speaking, people learn to be able to be vulnerable, to share information that then teaches them how to deal with certain issues in their lives. But as it relates to relying upon a belief system of someone else, it also requires us to be able to differentiate between what is applicable to our personal lives, what resonates with us truly at the core, rather than putting our hands and trust and faith in somebody else's experience, which is not our experience. And everybody has a certain experience, but the intensity and the way in which people deal with things is also different. So we have to be able to rely upon our own self through our own struggles, and know that the struggles that we go through are teaching us to develop a belief system of how to incorporate or change or grow from something. Does it resonate, or does it really not? And then again, as I mentioned, you want to do the fishing yourself. You want somebody to teach you how to fish, but then in essence, you really want to know how to fish for yourself, because we don't want to be reliant upon somebody all our lives. And then when it doesn't work, we blame them, and we never learn to take ownership or responsibility for our own issues. It's so important for us to take ownership for our own issues. Again, it's an important aspect. And as it relates to belief systems, I'm not just referring to religious belief systems. I'm referring to the belief systems we have on a daily basis of how we go on with our lives, how we interact, and how we're able to grow and shift in the course of a lifetime. So I'm sure many of you would agree that you don't really want somebody taking over for you. Maybe we want to, have somebody that's close to us that we trust, that we can share our issues with and problems with. But when we seek out people, spiritual teachers, people who are actually going through the same things that we're going through, and it's nice to share information, but really nobody has that deeper insight than our own selves. We all know the navigation system. We all know the route that we need to take. And we also need to get information and learn from a teacher and grow, but we don't want to become reliant and then have them take over our own system itself, or hijack it, so to speak, in a positive way, not looking at it negatively. So in shamanic traditions, wisdom is not meant to be borrowed forever, and guidance is meant to return to ourselves. So we take the information and we use it as a tool to grow. And this journey will invite us to reconnect with your own inner authority, the part of you that can receive the insight, to make choices, and trust your own knowing without needing permission from somebody else. All right, and you're not here to give your power away, and you're not here to reject anybody else's wisdom. You're here to remember how you came here and what you need to listen to. So let's try to go on a journey today inwardly and carry that knowing back to your life. Listening for the information that's presented to you by your spirit animal, or whatever information comes through. And so many of you know the spirit animals themselves, or the journeys themselves, are a way of you to relax your mind through the drum. And through the drumming itself, you receive information like a holographic image. And you may not see a spirit animal every time, right? But you may see colors, you may see images. And whatever you get and whatever information you receive, see how it applies to your life, of how you can get the knowing back into your life without having somebody to tell you the information that you need to hear. And again, as I said before, we do need help with people. We do need teachers in our lives. But the teacher, again, as I said, and you know that saying, the teacher teaches us how to fish, and then we go fishing for ourselves. You can word it however you like, but we know the gist of that. All right, so let's get into a comfortable place where we can either sit or lie down, preferably covering our eyes so that we're not stimulated by extra light coming in. And unlike last week where we did a journey to your personal life, today we're going on the journey to self-belief, what your belief system is and where you've gone wrong and where you need to reroute and get back on track. And just listen for the information and see what comes through. All right, so take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Closing your eyes, relaxing, letting go, and let's go on our journey. On our trail, on the path, into the forest, taking a deep breath in and smelling the forest air. The pine, the moisture. The leaves. And as we travel on this path, as we walk along, we hear the birds whistling above. The wind shifting through the trees and the air. The sun and its warmth shining on our face. As we continue up ahead, we see our path into the cave. Using our hands to navigate through its darkness. Taking a deep breath in and searching for the light in front of us. As we exit the cave onto the other side. And as we continue on a new path, we veer to the right. On a wider, more open path. Continuing to walk as we breathe in. We hear a noise to the left and we look over and see a spirit animal. What animal do you see? You stop and face one another. You either present the question of your self-belief system or you communicate it and patiently sit in the energy of listening for your answers. exhale. And thank the spirit animal for passing on any information. As you head back on the path, searching up ahead for the entrance into the cave. Using your hands to navigate through the darkness. And up ahead, seeing the light from the other side. As you exit the cave, you return to the original trail. Taking a deep breath in. Feeling the sun on your body. And the fresh air of the forest. As you continue walking on the path, you stop in front of an oak tree on the left. Put your arms around it and exchange energy as the tree absorbs the positive ions and neutralizes them, creating a sense of balance. And you feel that exchange. Take a deep breath in and you look up to the tree and thank it as you release your arms and hands. Back on the path and out of the forest. Okay, take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Move your fingers, move your toes, shrug your shoulders, and when you're ready, come back into the room and return. Okay, so tonight's journey, number 116 to self-belief, was basically the one that comes from not who we're told to be, the belief system of such, but the kind that rises from within. So along the way as we exist in this life, we are given those belief systems, as I mentioned earlier, from family, cultures, teachers, spiritual traditions. But as we go along on this path and we come to our own conclusions about what we want to take into our lives and the things we want to manifest, the things we want to create, and the belief systems that resonate with us, not the things that we've been taught to believe. And what's more important is for us to find a teacher or teachers that give us insight, but not for us to be reliant and not for us to not eventually develop our own navigation system, our own belief system that integrates what we learn along the way, but not being reliant upon somebody that to then take over or navigate our own lives. And so as we continue on this path, I guess it's important for us to find the people that can help further us, further our development, taking pieces of each information, insight along the path. But the important thing for us to do is to then take that information and use it for our own self, for us to take the nugget and be able to do something with it, not just accumulate information, not just to be reliant and not be afraid to then take action from our own things that we've learned along the way. All right, I want to thank you for joining me today. And I don't know if you've noticed in any of the videos, because I've posted them on YouTube and I've put them on my Facebook page, the different orbs that fly around and join us for some of the drumming sessions. I haven't looked at all of them naturally, but sometimes some of them are so prominent that they just pass through and come over the place on the wall and behind me. And I guess I feel basked in some positive energy. either ancestors, spiritual guides, or whatever whatever insight is coming here for this particular meeting. And hopefully you have that support as well. And I believe you do. So I want to thank you for joining me today. And if you didn't catch the live, hopefully you catch the replay. And as I've been mentioning, for the holidays, I'm offering a 15-minute Akashic Record reading. I usually give insight into a person's life when I open up the Akashic Records. If you're not familiar with the Akashic Records, you could look it up. You can go to my website. You can look it up generally to just see what it is. Anyhow, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you have a great week ahead, and hopefully you're on the path to your self-worth and your own navigation, and that entails having your own belief system. Okay, have a great evening.